The term military analyst is not a legally protected term. It's not like doctor. It's more like economist. Any asshole can start calling themselves one and fart out a vaguely plausible opinion on the current situation.
I am an economist, but I hate my profession and I hate my colleagues because they're all miserable failures because they actually thought they'd do a real thing. Now, moving on with that, I'm going to guess the economists failed again. If you could imagine this, ladies and gentlemen, a bunch of old stodgy, predominantly dudes, probably white to maintain the stereotype. Oh my God. Oh, we will chart love. We will put a number on it. I'm going to guess they're going to fail. But Laura Curtis, someone sent this to me. Laura Curtis, I just saw the title. She writes for Bloomberg and Fortune, or Fortune carried this article as well. And I'll read it for you. She says, economists have finally figured out a decades-long mystery why men are increasingly foregoing work. The Scooby-Doo mystery. The one where our best and brightest minds, namely government economists, we just can't figure out why the men aren't working. And my latest book coming up, A World Without Men. By the way, economists, you real ones, I'm doing the real work over here. The Department of Labor published information. It's been out there for a while, but it shows where men and women work. I'm like, I wonder what the economy would look like if men weren't gone. Shucks, how did you look? The data's right here. Let me tell you what a crap hole it would be. But obviously in the data, you say, the men are leaving. Why aren't men going to college? It's just a Scooby-Doo mystery. And you academics who haven't gotten laid, at least by a big-breasted woman, in a long-ass time, all the articles that I've cited in this book, well, I don't understand. It just shows how out of touch with just rank and file normal everyday. What happens when you go across the Potomac? Do you all lose your minds? What, wasn't one or two of you normal at one time? So I didn't read the article. I wanted to see if my buddy Laura Curtis, and I'm going to look her up later. I'm cheering for, I'm like, they got the secrets. They figured it out. The Scooby-Doo mystery has been solved. And I'm going to see if it is. I'm going to see if it is. And so what I had done, I've pulled up this manuscript for the book I'm writing now. And I've queued it up because I'm like, I bet you these economists didn't get it. I bet you they didn't. I'm going to read from that if they don't figure out this. If I know that it's not a mystery. I know the answer to the mystery. You know the answer to the mystery. Any guy who's felt a boob in his life knows the answer to the mystery. So I have this queued up. And I mean 100%, I'm not even being edgy or funny. I mean 100% of the words I have written in this book about the economics profession and all you economists out there. So let's see if you got it. Plus, I'll give you, if they're wrong, which don't worry, they're going to be, I'll give you a little bit of an insight, little peek behind the curtain. Okay. Fortune, economists have finally figured out a decades-long mystery, why men are increasingly foregoing work. It's a question that's puzzled economists for decades. No, it hasn't. Work sucks? That's the main answer. The modern answer is a little different. Why have men been increasingly missing from the labor market since the 1960s? The answer, at least partly, okay, you provided yourself an out there, is that more millennial men are going to college than baby boomers. What? What year was this written? Okay, class, do you know like the 3 things that had already come up wrong with this? I'll give you, this was written October 10th, 2023. I'll go ahead. I'll let you figure out. Go ahead. Throw your guesses in the chat room. Go ahead. I think you're going to get it. My group is smart. That's right. Millennials aren't going to college. One is one of several things wrong. It's the Zoomers. So I don't know if the journalist has failed in this regard, Or the Economist looked at people who are now well into their 30s, and more millennial men are going to college than baby boomers? Well, I thought you were all panicked and crisised out that men weren't going to. Which one is it? Oh, women outrank men by 50% in college attendance. Only 40% of people attending college are men. And now you're saying that more men are going? You could say the answer is that more millennial men had gone to college. And I agree with you there. Because, oh my God, college. Oh my God. Only the smart people go to college. Why? I think it's 65% of kids now go to college. Really? 2/3 of the population is that smart, huh? And new research from the Federal Reserve Bank in San Francisco shows that as these younger men graduate, they'll increasingly enter the workforce and the decline in participation should slow. Now, I have pulled up the labor force participation rate of men at varying age cohorts, and there has been a little bit of an uptick post disease. But I think that's just a recovery from that. And I'm still very confused. Are you looking at Zoomer? You still got to square that hole for me here. Millennials went to college 10 to 15 years ago. Are you talking Zoomers? Aaron, are you journalists? I know. The share of younger millennial men not working is about twice that of boomers at the same age, according to the report published Tuesday. Yes, but the gap closes substantially as they approach middle age. Yeah, because you want to wait till you're 45 to enter the labor force. Jesus. If you look at male labor, just so you guys know, I'll tell you what it looks like for overall male labor force participation rate. It starts at almost 90%. I think it's 87%. Starting in 1948 when it started recording, and now it's down to 2/3, I believe. Oh my God, why are less men working? Because it sucks. That's your first answer. More recently, you pay people not to work. There's the welfare state. Let's see if we get the third. Has anyone even hit those two? Work sucks. You pay them not to work. And you all know what the third one's coming up. Let's see if they get this. Let's see if the San Francisco Federal Reserve people, in between playing hopscotch over human shit on the street, let's see if they figured it out. Oh my goodness, the San Francisco Federal Reserve. But the gap closes as approach middle age. A greater share of young men today have a post-secondary degree, signaling that as they age, they'll enter the workforce. How long? They graduate 10 years and definitely they're going to enter the workforce. While men generally participate in the workforce more than women, trends for the two age groups have diverged. Women were surging into jobs while for men aged 25 to 50 years old, participation has fallen more than 8 percentage points in the past 6 decades. Oh, it's fallen. 25 to 54. I wonder if that might be the difference. As these younger generations age and make up more of the prime age population, this may increase participation rates and help economic growth. No, you idiots. You pay them not to work. Well, the absurdity of trying to get a job with you all require college degrees. You pay them not to work, and work sucks. Oh my goodness. Do you have a touch of the tism? By the way, a lot of data here about how men are abusing mental disability to collect a disability check. You guys make it so easy to collect a check. I don't understand why they're not working. What are those on that woman's chest? They look kind of fun. Don't look at that fat ass. It's the devil's work over there. Focus on your economics. Researchers include Leela Bengali, Evgenia Durzak, and Cindy Zhao wrote in the report. Many other factors also at play for men. Are you guys going to say it? Choosing to sit out of the job markets, including, here we go, guys. Here's whether I read the segment about economists or not. Disability or illness. Okay, I called that one. All right. Disability or illness. They're not ill. they're faking it, or they were lied to, led to believe that, oh my God, I got the autism. I can't possibly work. The numbers, I show you, go to the Social Security admin.gov or whatever it is. Caretaking is also a growing factor amid shifts in childcare responsibilities and an aging population, according to the analysts. The author used the government's current population survey data from 1976 to 2022. I went back to 1948, to compare men's workforce participation among millennials, Gen Z, Xers, and baby boomers in the silent generation. Okay. All right, Dave. No, you didn't get it. Laura Curtis. Now, she was just reporting on The Economist, I'm sure. Hang on. Laura Curtis, Fortune, LinkedIn. I tried to look her up before. I just want to see Laura Curtis. I'm not playing your game, LinkedIn. You either pop up. I don't know who is this LinkedIn. Laura Curtis. Okay, that's too common a name. I'm not going to look her up. Let's close this up. All right. I want all you economists and Laura. I know you're just reporting on The Economist. Fine. I want all you economists to listen up. It's because there's too many fat chicks. I'm not even joking about that. Yes, disability checks. Yes, socialism, welfare checks, UBI. All right. They got more college degrees. No, swing and a miss again. Let's take this article and your 48th guest and throw it on top of the pile of the other articles and all the other economist research papers that didn't hit it on the head. Men don't want to marry loud, lippy, not feminine, tatted up, single mom fat chicks. Damn. It was Dennis Prager, but people pointed out that you need a study for this. You need an actual goddamn study for this. And at least when they say that, they'll come out and they'll say, hey, did you know this common sense thing that we've known since human time immemorial, just common wisdom we all knew? They found out it's true using academic research. Men are motivated by sex, by female youth and beauty. And there's certainly a dearth of that going around right now. And while there are other factors that are in play, like you pay them not to work, that's the main one. Prove me wrong. See, but you guys want to well, let me read. From the upcoming book, A World Without Men, written by me, a real economist who didn't have his balls. What is that? Neutered. Y'all neutered over there in the economics department? You dare no touch sex? Economists are a noble, well-intended bunch. Their goal is to eliminate poverty or conversely make everyone as rich as possible. And so ever since economics has been considered a profession, these fine men and women have dedicated tremendous resources to unlocking the key to unlimited wealth. Over the past 200 years, hundreds of thousands of economists have spent billions of hours in offices, writing billions of pages in research papers, while spending trillions of dollars in all the world's economies, all to unlock the secret to unlimited wealth. They tried every form of fiscal policy, monetary policy, government policy, rule, law, regulation, tax, stimulus, voucher. Damn, I'm a good writer. Could you imagine reading a research paper by me? Regulation, tax, stimulus, voucher, lever, incentive program, PSA campaign, and decree, as well as every possible permutation thereof. They've ran the biggest meta study on economics in the form of the American welfare state, costing the U.S. taxpayer over $30 trillion in 60 years. They even have a Nobel Prize in economics, which is as prestigious and valuable as winning an Oscar. Yet, tragically, despite all their efforts, the key to unlimited wealth continues to elude them. Make sure I get my cursor so I continue going down. The reason for this is simple. Economics is a philosophy, not a science. And despite their best intentions, economists treat it as a science, which has sadly rendered their efforts useless. Just like this report they did. Like medieval alchemists trying to convert lead into gold, economists operate from the erroneous premise that there is somehow the secret formula, a magic combination of fiscal policy, monetary policy, interest rates, and taxation that, when perfected, will suddenly eliminate poverty and usher us into a new economic utopia. Furthermore, economists' misplaced faith in their own profession blinds them from identifying the real problems facing economies and consequently any real and practical solutions to them because it doesn't fit within their closed-minded formulaic economic model. Damn, I'm good. And so thousands of economists will waste their entire careers poring over yotta bytes of economic data. That's a thing. Vainly tweaking interest rates here or decreasing the money supply there, only to fail while obvious solutions are usually staring them right in the face. The problem is not all economic problems have economic solutions, and not all economic problems have economic origins. And so even if your economic philosophy is spot on, economists are so myopic they tend to ignore solutions to their problems if they come from outside the realm of economics. This has resulted in a tremendous blind spot in the economics profession, a blind spot where there are a ton of non-economic solutions to their economic problems, but within this blind spot is a blind spot where there are a ton of non-economic solutions to their economic problems. But within this blind spot is a factor so foundational to economic growth, it truly is the secret to maximizing wealth economists have been looking for. A secret so powerful its efficacy would dwarf all the fiscal and monetary policies of the world's greatest economists combined. One that few economists think of and dare not mention if they do because it is so politically incorrect they would lose all their jobs. And that secret is sex. Sex is the most powerful economic policy in the world. Make women thin again. There we go. We don't even have to worry about tax rates, people. You watch me. Watch me. I won't even have to touch interest rates. We won't have to lower taxes. You can all have your little welfare state you jerk off to and masturbate to at night. I won't even touch it. I'll just, well, I can't make, I can't order every one of you on the treadmill now. That's not, you don't have to, you want the economy to boom. You want economic growth. Give men a reason to go and fight. Forget even economic. You want men to work again? I don't know. What's the reason? You tell me the reason men should get up and work. You pay them not to. Die hard. The man is hurt, alone, and suffering. And he ain't seen diddly squat from you down here the entire day. Now you gonna tell me he's gonna give a damn what you do to him if he makes it out of there alive? Why don't you wake up and smell what you shoveling? We want hot, nice women who won't divorce us and that we can maybe have some families and children with. And by the way, I'm sure the economists know this. If you look at the production level between men who are married and men who are single, married men make 70% more, usually because there's kids in tow. You want men to work? Well, you better give us a goddamn motherfucking reason to. You ignorant academic hacks. It's just so exhausting. They think you're robots. I don't know. Also, in my book, I'm talking about, I don't know. How about you start making movies that are like, men suck and girl bosses are awesome? Oh, gee, here's another thing. Have you thought about the effects of affirmative action, where it's no longer meritocratic, where you're just going to promote somebody because they got a hoo-ha and another guy's got a schlong? Have you factored that in? Economists at the Federal Reserve. Let me guess, the solution is more government money. Hand clogs, $5. Rush. Oh, by the way, link below. Okay, so guys, they're not going to change. They're not. Okay, so link below 2 resources. Okay, one, the Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. Nothing's going to change. Okay, thin women ain't coming back. All right, well, you're going to have to go overseas, I guess, for that. So there's that. Then also I have a link to all my courses, all of which are open for enrollment over on Teachable. We got Achieving Financial Excellence. Look, if the girls aren't gonna be girls, essentially, if they're not gonna be feminine, they're not gonna give you you might as well get your financial act together, okay? So link below are links to 3 courses: Achieving Financial Excellence, my flagship product, which is called Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. That one teaches you how to quit your spending and refocus your life on minimalism and freedom and other things. And you'd be like, oh, okay. You can't get your financial act together until you learn to stop spending less than or more than you make. Then also link below is The Dad You Never Had, which isn't financial planning, but there's a lot of fatherly advice. So for those of you without dads, there you go. Hat and clogs, $5. Russia's Chinese terrorists, the Republicans, of course, hat and clogs. It's always the Republicans in the Senate. It's the cause. And Trump and the Republicans in the Senate. Who, Cappy? Who? Love is love, Cappy. Love and peace. Have more text. So I'm just writing words. That's fine, Hat. You're more than welcome. No, it's not the Russians, the Chinese, and the terrorists. Gee, I wonder why. I think what the economists are paid to do is come up with politically correct reasons so that the rest of the government can throw money at something and look like they're doing something and hope and pray to God. Anything but making women nice and sweet and thin again. Dung is fun, $5. The universal income has been proven not to work. Well, yeah, it was called communism, but all right. Through a virus of unknown country that should not be named. Well, didn't Finland try it and they said it didn't work? Minneapolis is a couple cities are trying. Minneapolis is trying it. It won't do anything. Hand clocks, $2. It is love, eros, and family. Jeremy Lewis, $2. All their advice fails. They're shocked. I do wonder if some of them know. They can't be that dense. Now, I think most of the economists listed were women. And I don't think they're not men, so they can speculate what it's like to be a guy, but I don't think they can know what it is to be a guy. So I could see where they're like, well, let's just pull this policy lever here. Well, increase the tax rate there and lower it there. And I mean, look at Europe. Like, there's a couple of countries in Europe, like, we'll pay you to have kids now. Oh, if only there was another way to get men to want to have sex again. They can't be that dense. They can't, but I guess maybe they can't say it. Yeah, the women are kind of overweight and not very feminine. No guy would want to marry them. But not only would that offend the women, but then you'd almost have to like, oh my God, are we thinking about what men want? Dude, the numbers on this upcoming book are just, I thought it was bad. Like, I'm like, okay, it's going to be pretty bad. It's way worse than I thought. Way worse than I thought. You are so, as a country, I speak to the German, you are so spectacularly stupid, ignoring the needs of half your population, regardless of what half it was. Like, let's say you ignored half your population who are on that side of the Mississippi River and the other side. It is stupid to ignore half your population, regardless of what trait or where it is. What did you think was going to happen? And then you say, well, the East Mississippi people are going to blame the West Mississippi people of having West Mississippi privilege. And we're going to pass laws that say East Mississippi people get preferential aid. What did you think was going to happen? But you didn't. It wasn't arbitrary. You took the engines of economic growth, the guys who keep the freaking infrastructure up, and say, those are the people we're going to pick on. Oh my God, why is there no housing? Why is housing so expensive? Yeah, I'm sure those millennials with the college degrees are going to go build some. Anthony Ciaratino, our Italian agent in the field, $5, no vag. Okay, I'll just phone it in then. How's that meta-analysis for you? It's not as simple as it. Yes, sex would obviously be a very huge component of it, but God, could we just get a gal that's nice and sweet and is feminine? You know what I want? I want a woman who's vibrant. Vibrant. You know, she walks in and she's just happy. You're like, wow, look at, she's vibrant. You know, girls like that, they're not fun to be around because they're slutty, right? But they light up a room. And you know what? I'm wrong, economists of the world and sociologists. You know what? The women just don't have enough tattoos on their bodies. We should get a government program to women that get more tattoos and more blue and purple hair and to eat more. We just haven't done enough. Lavish Patch Kid for $20 generous dollars. Thank you very much, Lavish Patch. Chicks won't look at legal money unless it's 6 figures a year. They'd rather go for the bad dudes. Well, pretty much, yeah. Also keep in mind the drug dealer effect. I mean, the guy's got the drugs, he's got the fun. The guy who brings the beer to the party, he's the fun guy. All the boys would rather be outlaws than work for $30K a year and never getting any. There is no free money being given to men. No. Well, there is. I mean, there is. I got the data right there. The amount of men are before 18, they're 2/3, 75% of the disability claims. And then it switches as women get older and I'm depressed. Well, here's some money. Sorry you feel bad. Maybe you should have been a fat, disgusting, mean lady your entire life. Then you wouldn't be so depressed. I'm just kind of pissed. Like, how you guys have doctorates in economics, which admittedly is a liberal arts and it's bullshit, but at least there was some math and some intelligence. And interesting enough, econ majors have some of the highest IQs. Like, how are you so dense? What? Dung is fun, $5. Thanks again for the donation there, Lavish. Dung is fun, $5. I have survived 3 layoffs in 13 years. After work, I take my work home. I thank the internet for helping me out to be better. Well, let me have survived 3 layoffs in 13 years. After work, I take my work home. I thank the internet for being able to be better. Well, don't always focus on working for someone else or your career. I mean, work for yourself. It's almost a mandatory thing just to make this life tolerable. You can't be working for someone else. You just can't. The idea you got to go and sit through like diversity training or get a college degree, just get out of here. Angry Casper, new guy, $5 New Zealand. Alpha Chads of old ruined it for Alpha Chads of new. Thoughts? Alpha Chads of old? How so? Not to chintzy on your $5. I don't know exactly what you're asking. Alpha Chads of old, so it would be like Paul Newman ruined it for the Alpha Chads. So the Alpha Chads, I don't know. They slept around, made a bunch of alpha widows for the generation that had the Chads, and they were single moms that raised them. You lost me. I need a little more detail. Dr. Paradox, what's up, Doc? $5. I just finished off all the wife's dumplings. Saw you live, just not listening. And hold on, are you fools still arguing about this nonsense? I'm not arguing it. What I love seeing is the dinosaur legacy media coming in with Laura Curtis saying, economists figure it out. We figured it out. The millennials need what? Another decade after graduation to start working? We haven't figured out. We've had it figured out for at least 15 years. It's just that the rest of society doesn't want to accept that answer. They're desperate. They're desperate for anything else, any other solution than women have to be nice and sweet and kind to men, or society in general has to treat men. I don't know what the apprehension is. I can understand women not wanting to put men in their lives. Most women don't find most men attractive. Most women were never that attracted to men anyway. They want to go live their own life. That I get. But I do not understand what society has this hate boner about men about, where they got to just be the butt end of every jokes and blame for everything that didn't go right with the West Mississippian people. That I don't get. I don't understand that. Aubrey, $2.79 Canadian. Thank you very much with a check mark. Osama Abdu, $5. If you do some videos discussing car purchasing and economics of the automobile game in conjunction with purchasing cheap used cars, you would get big views. Here, you're probably right, Osama. I'm sure it's a very foremost topic, but I have it, and I'm reluctant to do it because it's in here. I think it's chapter 10. I even probably know it because cars are a big purchase. Obviously, it has a direct effect. No, I'm sorry, chapter 9. I go through how to buy used cars here. I've always paid cash for cars, and I know used cars have gotten expensive. They're coming cheap now. Not coming cheap, they're going down in price. They're becoming more affordable. But that I bought a car a year ago and paid $5,000, and it had 60,000 miles. Need a little bit of work, but you could find them. It's not a fancy car. It's a crap car. But you could find them. And you know what? You're right. If I did a video that was short and sweet, as opposed to having, go buy my book, it'd be more convenient and accessible to younger men. So you're right. I should probably do it. I will add it to my to-do list. Yaks, 200 woolons or double. What was the? Oh, come on. Double woolons? It wasn't double woolons. Am I thinking double dollars from Trigun? Well, 2,000 woolons. Here's some woolong. Thanks, Yaks. Dr. Paradox, $5. Nonstop Dre is a present. Yeah, isn't it nice? What happened? You might be working for a change. So I'll fill in. Oh, thanks, Doc. Thank you very much. How's the weather down there, little buddy? Thanks, Doc. Glad couldn't have had a video without one short joke, could we? I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope you're happy. Hey, Captain Hilts. Captain. Who's Vincent Barrick? Love your work. God bless. Vincent is an old man who wanted to get into the writing game, but is frankly just too old and wanted to retire. So I had written the majority of that book, and Vince wanted to make some editing. I decided it was too depressing to publish. He said, no, this is still good work. So I finished it off. He said he'd publish it under his name, but now in hindsight, it's not too depressing. It's sad. He did want to get into the writing game, but age has gotten to him, and it's not his fault. It's not just people get old. Dr. Paradox, $2. 2 lines is Bebop. 1 is Korean, you fool. Oh, 2 lines is Bebop. Is it? Hang on. Oh, 2 lines. Yeah, look at that. Angry Casper, New Zealand, $10. Alpha Chad Sneeko can't get a decent girl that is not ruined by Tates, who are also not cleaning up after themselves, while incels will look after his kid's wife's safety after they get locked up. Well, okay, but you're talking, okay, Alpha Chad Sneeko. I presume you don't mean the character, the actual guy, Sneeko. I think you just mean Alpha Chad, who is an alpha, but he's below the Tates. So the Tates and all the super alphas ruin all the gals, and then the regular alphas, they can't get a decent girl. Well, true. I mean, there's many reasons the girls aren't marriage material. I mean, a lot. It isn't just because they were banging the Tates or alphas and they're pining for that guy. Who are also not cleaning up after themselves, while incels will look after their. Well, yeah, but okay, that's classic alpha bucks beta bucks. No, alpha fox beta bucks. That's classic. Yeah, that. But I don't see how generationally, because if your dad was an alpha, you're not competing for the same. Well, he might be going after girls your age by the time you're 25, but generally speaking, the generation of women that he would ruin would have been your mother's generation. You wouldn't be chasing after that. There is a social fallout, a sociological fallout that comes from, say, a generation of alphas ruining women. But I don't have any data. I've never really looked at, how many alphas were running around in the baby boomer generation? How many Tom Sellecks were there? I guess Tom was a regular straight-laced guy. It wasn't, I'm trying to think of who was a player back in the day who slept around. I don't know. Somebody knows. I should know this. 80s. Who was prolific in the 80s? Oh, anyone of the hair bands. Yeah, those guys. Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. Those guys were getting laid all the time. But that's a special breed of alpha, though. I think the groupie girls kind of knew what they're getting into. GS, $10. Just moved back to U.S. after 2 years in Japan. Night and day difference dating. Also been Colombia, Thai. Yes, the grass is greener on the other side. If you're not autistic, it's pretty apparent who's gold digging. That's this book right here, written by Nice Guy, Land of the Losers. He did that. He ended up going overseas and working. I think he's in Japan now. And yeah, it just sounds that way. Not that they're hotter or they just are. They show up. There's no drama. There's no mind games. I don't think they hate their men over there. I really don't. Dr. Paradox, $5 again. Cappy's so short, he has to make his videos long to compensate. We could just go without Dre's short joke. You don't have to all come in and pinch hit for him. We could just do without. We could just have a nice conversation. Alex Patino, a truck driver Latino agent in the field, $5. Took this long to figure out why nobody is wearing. No, they still did. That's what Alex, they still haven't figured it out. It's 2023. These articles probably are about a decade old. Like I don't get why young men are working in it. The labor force participation. I got some great data, some great charts in this book. I got data going back to like the 17 or 1800s showing the hourly work week of men. And it was like 3,500 hours a year because you had to work to survive. That's come down a lot, and it's still going down. So, I mean, aside from the common sense fact that toiling in a field sucks and work in general sucks and men would rather be doing leisure than labor, yes, there's always going to be a downward trend in the labor force participation rates, except for women. We're free. I'm going to be a girl boss and pay taxes. Here, take care of my kid. I don't love him that much anyway. La 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 la. So it's common sense why the rate has been going down since forever. But more modernly, they're just like, it's starting to cut into, well, you guys could see it. They can't find anyone to work. It's starting to cut into our economic production, like our key economic production. And I'd be like, well, if you don't have kids, and hey, let me ask you this, Alex, you don't have to super chat or nothing. Maybe the next, how many hours you're working now versus how many hours do you think you'd work if you didn't have kids? Like if you didn't have a wife and kids to support, how many hours would you work? If you were a swinging bachelor, I guarantee you it'd be at most 2/3, maybe enough for you to get insurance. But I think that'd be it, right? Osama Abdu, $2. Huge topic on YouTube right now. Easy 100,000 views. Okay, all right. For you, Osama, I'm going to hang on. Let me pull up my to-do list. Hang on. Let me get my to-do list. How to buy a car. Does it have to be used? How to buy a used car? Don't pay more, Osama. I'll just go through. Come on. The hell. Okay. I'll do a video. Dr. Paradox, $5. Dre just called me. He said he'd comment, but you're just so far down there shouting this and working. That's fine. Hey, how did he make his fortune? Oh, look who's here. Wisdom Vision Production for $2. Dr. Paradox, stop. He's already dead. Thank you. Oh, the internet's out too. All right, that's it. Links to everything below. I'll see you guys later. Toodles. Look for the new book coming out probably next month.